Subscribe to Motoroids for the most in-depth and detailed car and bike reviews. Hit that bell icon and you will be notified before everyone else. Hey guys, welcome to Motoroids.com. My name is Amit Changani and we are driving the all-new Toyota Yaris today. And one huge talking point of this car is its all-new infotainment system, which features something called air gestures as well as hand gestures. And this feature, the air gesture feature, is available in BMW 5 Series and 7 Series. So it's quite surprising that a car which is supposed to be fighting against the likes of the Honda City and the Ciaz is going to be featuring this great feature. So we're going to talk about a lot of features that are there on this infotainment system, and we'll explain in detail as to how the air gesture also works. Let's get going about it. So first of all, this infotainment screen, as you see, is something which is a bit dramatic, and it flips out to let you insert the CD in this one. So you can use this slot to insert the CD and then bring it back up again. So that's a cool feature this one has. Talking about the air gesture sensor, that sensor is located in this part of the screen. So if you're going to be using your air gestures, you'll have to use the gestures on this part, and if you do it here, it's not going to work. So remember that using air gestures has to happen in this part of the screen only. Now let's see how air gestures menu looks. So when you go to system, you see the air gestures screen. So to activate air gestures, what happens is, in case your hand just moves randomly, you might just increase the volume or change a menu. So to prevent that from happening, what Toyota has done is you have to keep your hand here to activate the air gesture feature, and it will go into hibernation after whatever time you want. So for now we have set the hibernation to 20 seconds. You can reduce it to 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or you can keep it active at all times so it would never hibernate. So you can change the timing, and right now we have set it to 20 seconds. Now within air gesture, you have various different things depending on the kind of app you are using. Essentially you have 4 gestures. You can go down, you can go up, left and right. For example, if you are in radio, you can use this to change radio stations. So I'll turn the hand gestures on first and then change the radio station. Then I can go back to the previous station as well. And if I have to increase the volume, I have to go up. As you can see, the volume is going up, and now the volume is going to go down. So essentially these are the 4 gestures that you have to use, and depending on the app that you're in, for example we are in radio right now, the function that it works for changes. So similarly in maps, I can use to scroll up and down. So it's entirely dependent on the kind of app that you're in, and based on that app it can do a lot of things, like, you know, these are the fancy names that Toyota has given to the functions that are associated with the air gesture: air jump, air browse, air in call accept. So for example, if you're getting a call, you can swipe up or down to accept or reject call. Turn up down is to increase or decrease volume. Similarly, air scroll and browse, all of these things are just fancy names given to the functions that would happen. Like if you want to scroll when you're a browser, you can use the air gesture to scroll up, scroll down. So depending on the app that you're in, the air gesture is going to perform a function. Now that's not the only thing that this infotainment system has. This also gets hand gestures, which is another cool feature. So it's got hand gestures or touch gestures like you have on your iPad. So you can use gestures using 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 or 4 fingers, as well as 4 to 5 finger scratch. So let's see what all you can do with 1 finger. So you can obviously swipe up or down using the 1 finger swipe up, and you can swipe left or right using 1 finger. Similarly, if there is an image on the screen, you can move it left or right to see a certain part of the image. So this is essentially to move the screen in a certain direction. Then with 2 fingers, you can use the map view switch. So if you're in maps and you use 2 fingers down, you're going to get into the audio menu, and you swipe up and you'll be in maps again. So that's again a cool feature to have. Then you can also pinch to zoom out or zoom in, and this is going to happen in maps. So let me show you. So right now we are zooming out, and you can pinch to zoom in as well. All of us who use smartphones, we know that this works like this, so that's not something new, but it's good to have it on an infotainment system anyway. Then you can also use rotary motion for maps again, and if you want to turn the maps around, this is going to help you like this. Getting back to the settings, you also have 3 or 4 finger flick, which is a very nice function. So with 3 fingers, if you swipe up, the display is going to get turned off, and you tap it again and it's going to come back on again. Then similarly, if you are in radio, you can use 3 fingers swipe down to mute the audio. Let's see how that works. Let's go into radio and turn up the volume. And if I swipe down with 3 fingers, it will mute. So that's how you use 3 fingers mute. Then you can use swipe left or right with 3 fingers for volume up and down. Let's try that as well. And for that, first we'll have to unmute the radio, and then we'll use 3 fingers to increase the volume and then to reduce the volume. So that's how it works. Moving forward, you can use 4 or 5 fingers also for scratch, and when you use your 4 or 5 fingers to scratch the screen like so, it will go back to the home screen like this. So those were your air gestures as well as hand gestures that you have on the all-new Toyota Yaris. We hope that this video was useful. Apart from this, a few other things that this car boasts of is you have a Wi-Fi hotspot, so you can use your phone to connect to the car's Wi-Fi hotspot, and then everybody can use it. Apart from that, you also can use Mirrorcast, which essentially is a way to cast your phone screen onto this screen, and you require an app for that. And once you turn on your Wi-Fi, you can project your screen onto this screen, and that's how it works. Apart from that, you also have MirrorLink, which works through USB, and for that you have a USB socket here. And unfortunately, when you connect it to your phone, sometimes it's not going to connect because it supports only a few phones, and that's the reason why we think that this very feature-rich infotainment system would have been even better had it been Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compliant. And that's one small feature that we think is missing and nullifies somewhat such a great infotainment system that Toyota has provided. So that was our walkthrough of the air gestures and hand gestures on the new Toyota Yaris. We hope that this video was useful to you. If you think this was useful, hit the like button, subscribe to Motoroids, share this video with your friends and family who would be interested in this car. And as I always tell you, rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.